What is up, Guardians? With the release of Lightfall and the changes to the armor mod system, many players feared that some of our favorite community-developed builds would become things of the past. However, if you are paying attention to the background gameplay, you can see that the young Ahamkara Spine infinite Tripmines / infinite melee ability spam is still fully viable post Lightfall. In this video, we are going to cover everything you need to know in order to make this build an absolute wrecking ball when it comes to PvE gameplay. Now, as far as supers go, I am running the Blade Barrage super. However, feel free to run any one that you want. It does not matter. This is just my personal preference. As far as the dodge goes, we are using the Acrobat's dodge in order to make ourselves radiant. Of course, triple jump, because if you're not using triple jump, why are you playing a hunter? We use the knife trick because it will give us a little bit of a fan out on the knives, as well as it will spread scorch when you are killing enemies. And finally, of course, the bread and butter of this build is the Tripmine grenade. Now, I say bread and butter, but as well, the knife trick is also very important, as you will pretty much have ability spam between your Tripmine and your knife trick itself. When looking at our aspects, we are going to be using On Your Mark, mainly because we get an extra 3 fragment slots, and also Knock 'em down. The important thing about Knock 'em down in this case is that while you are radiant, final blows with your equipped throwing knife fully refund your melee energy. This is going to become important as we are going to be using our melee energy to restore our grenade energy. Now, let's look at our fragments. First one we are running is Ember of Char. Your solar ignitions spread scorch to the affected targets. Ember of Ashes. You apply more scorch stacks to targets. Ember of Blistering, defeating targets with solar ignitions grants grenade energy. Again, we're going to want to get as much grenade energy as possible, especially since Tripmine cooldown was actually increased this season. Ember of Torches, powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. And again, that radiant will also affect you being able to refund your throwing knife. And finally, we have Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. Now, the fire sprite, if you read here, when picked up, will grant grenade energy. Again, we are trying to increase as much grenade energy refund as possible. Now, let's go into our armor mods. The first mod we are going to run is Solar Siphon, where rapid solar weapon final blows create an orb of power. As well, we are going to run kinetic weapon final blows to also create that orb of power. You don't have to run this one, I just prefer it because I want to be generating as many orbs of power from as many different weapon types as I possibly can. And finally, Harmonic Siphon, rapid solar weapon, final blows, create an orb of power. So again, as you can see here, we are going to try to generate as many orbs of power as possible. This is really important as it is going to help refund some of that grenade ability and melee energy in the case that maybe you miss one of your throwing knife throws or even your grenade throws. Now, as everyone knows, if you're wanting to run the Infinite Tripmine build, you're going to have to use Young Ahamkara Spine as your exotic armor piece. This increases the Tripmine grenade duration and the blast radius, and ability damage grants Tripmine grenade energy. So really important, again, refunding more and more of that energy. The mods for this one we're going to run is Firepower. Your grenade final blows create orbs of power. Bolstering Detonation will grant class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. And finally, Impact Induction, causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. Up next is our chest piece. This won't have as much to do with our actual build, and you can actually make this however you want. In this case, I am running Emergency Reinforcement. Collecting an orb of power causes you to gain 1 temporary armor charge. As well, I am running Harmonic Resistance, reducing incoming solar damage from combatants. Looking at our legs, we are going to run Innervation, where this reduces the grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. Again, with our rapid kills, with all the ways that we are generating orbs of power from this build so far, you're going to be having a lot of orbs of power on the battlefield. This is going to greatly help you increase that grenade cooldown. We are also going to run Solar Weapon Surge, where collecting an orb of power causes you to gain 1 temporary armor charge, and your solar weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have armor charge. Your armor charge now decays over time. So in this case, you're going to be getting a lot of orbs of power, you're going to be getting lots of armor charge, and you're going to be boosting the power, or the damage I should say, from your solar weapons. And finally, we have Absolution, which reduces all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an Orb of Power. You can change this out from one of the other ones that could reduce your melee cooldown or your grenade cooldown. I just wanted something to be able to hit all of my abilities at once. And finally, for our class item, I'm running Bomber, reducing the grenade cooldown when using your class ability. I'm also running Distribution, reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets, and another version of Bomber. The last thing I want to say about this build is that it is important to run a solar weapon, and the one that can dish out a lot of damage to a lot of targets quickly. In this case, I am running the Callus Mini Tool that has Incandescent. It is able to spread Scorch. Again, this is going to help us with our fragments as well. So you're just going to be generating so many Orbs of Power, guys. You're going to be throwing those Tripmine grenades, defeating targets, and then if you do not get your full grenade energy back from the Tripmine kill, you will use your powered melee attack to defeat a target, and this will give you back not only your powered melee attack, but it will also give you back your Tripmine grenade. In some cases, you may end up where the melee attack doesn't fully refund the grenade, but that's okay. As long as you get a full kill with the powered melee, you will get your melee energy back, allowing you to use it over and over again. In reality, this build should really be called the Infinite Melee build with near infinite Tripmines. Occasionally, you will miss a melee throw. You will miss a grenade throw, and all of a sudden find yourself kind of without all these abilities that you've been spamming so far. But in this case, use your Acrobat's Jump to become Radiant, use your Solar Weapon Final Blows, and this will help to refund that energy a whole lot faster, especially as you are generating Orbs of Power. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys sticking through it till the end of the video. If you are currently running a Solar Hunter build utilizing the Infinite Tripmine and melee ability spam, but you think, hey, maybe I've got a little bit of a better mod setup, then throw it in the comments and we can always highlight it in a future video. Again, guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to give me a like and hopefully a sub if you appreciated the video. And as always, I will catch you on the flip side.